You're listening to Happy Healthy Hormones with Dr. Chris. Are you tired of the short-term patch to your health problems? Is avoiding medications and surgeries important to you? If you answered yes, then your prayers have been answered. Dr. Chris has been helping people transform their health for over a decade. He's a world-renowned health expert who specializes in holistic health. He's a professional speaker, chiropractor, and international best-selling author. It's his mission to help you reach your full God-given potential through holistic health and healing. Get ready to be inspired and transformed. Here's your host, Dr. Chris.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the show where disease takes a dive and people come to thrive. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's very dear to my heart, which is getting better sleep. There are millions of Americans that suffer with sleep deprivation, whether it be not getting the full 6 to 8 hours that people recommend, or whether it be disrupted sleep or more advanced stages of sleep problems like insomnia. And it can make you feel like you're going insane if you've ever struggled with sleep in your life. You know, this is something that I think all of us have struggled with to some degree at some point in our lives, but some of us really struggle with it more than others, and it can really just wreak havoc in our lives. In fact, you know, although I've struggled with sleep from time to time in my life, nothing even holds a candle to what I saw my wife, Deidre, go through. She struggled with insomnia where she would only get 1 to 2 hours of sleep a day. And literally I say a day because it wasn't always at nighttime. Sometimes it would just be her trying to sleep, finally falling asleep at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, just trying to get a couple hours of sleep so that she could keep going on that next day. And man, that was some pretty dark times for her. And, you know, that was a real struggle for not just her, but just to test our relationship, because it was just changing the person that she was, the person that I was in love with. And, you know, we both saw that happen. And, you know, I'm just thankful to say that we started to apply the principles for her that allowed her to get the sleep. And, you know, when you're in a relationship, it's not just about the person that's struggling with the sleep. It's about the partner too, just being supportive of that and helping them set themselves up for success and a great night's sleep and starting to rebuild that area of their life. And so I just want you to be understanding of that too, and understand what you need to do, but also what the people in your life sometimes need to do as well if they are a close piece of your life, talking about those spouses, those significant others. So let's get into it today. I really want to talk to you about really what needs to be done to help set up the foundation to be able to get your sleep back. Now, these things are going to take time to not just implement sometimes, but also just to get your body starting to get in the habit and the rhythm, and getting your body's sympathetic nervous system, which gets you super amped up, and it's where the adrenaline comes in and the worrying comes in, which is not where we want to be when we're trying to fall asleep. But we want to start to activate, I should say, our parasympathetic. That is the rest and digest portion of our nervous system. It's going to allow you to calm down, relax, get your body ready for sleep so you can get into that REM cycle and get some quality sleep, because the sleep is where all your healing and repair comes in. And not just of your physical tissue, but also of your mental tissue, right? I'm talking about helping your state of mind get its restoration that it needs from a world that we live in, which is filled with anxiety, with just a bunch of drama that we don't need in our lives a lot of times, but it's around us. It's on our social media, on our Facebook, our Instagram, our Snapchat, on the evening news, on the newspaper, and our friends at coffee. It doesn't matter where we're at. We're bombarded by it a lot. We got to start to release those things. If there are people in your life that are creating more stress in your life, then you need to start to distance yourself from those people. Maybe you need to completely remove those people from your life, or maybe you just need to distance them as well. And then also a huge one is eliminating the major stressors that are not allowing you to actually calm down at night. Maybe you're bringing work home with you and you're super stressed about that. Maybe it's something you can't avoid and you just need to get out of that situation. Maybe you need to find a new profession. Maybe it's a drastic thing you need to do. But if you are struggling with insomnia or sleep to where it's starting to affect your life, you need to do something different, because there's a lot worse things than dying. It's called only running on 1 to 2 hours of sleep a day. All right. So let's get into it. What can you do right now to start to set up the right foundation? Number one is, you've heard this before, but I got to say it, is create that cave-like sleep environment. So when I mean cave-like, it should be as pitch black as you can get it. If you can get darkening shades or the blackout shades, get off all the lights, the LED lights, whatever you can do to lower that light threshold is huge. Your body needs to get in that normal rhythm. Also, you want to make sure that your room doesn't have any Wi-Fi. And when I mean Wi-Fi, I mean EMGs, which is EMF, electromagnetic frequencies. All right, these are things that are going to come from your cell phone. They're going to come from different electronics. So you definitely don't want your Wi-Fi on at night. You especially don't want your phone sitting right next to you. So power those down. At the very least, turn them on airplane mode. But I mean, just my recommendation is completely have them out of your room, far away from you, powered off if possible, so that you don't have that bombardment of EMFs. We get them all the time on a daily basis, and there's a huge amount of research out there that shows that it not only affects your health and many other aspects, but one of the big ones is allowing your nervous system to calm down, and it really affects your sleep. So really be conscious of that. If you can shut off your Wi-Fi for the whole house at night, definitely do that, but get those phones out. Then also, this is a really key one for you as well. And this is a tough one. This is a tough one for even myself and my wife, but it's not having any screens. And this is really key, especially if you're struggling with that sleep, at least 1 to 2 hours before you want to fall asleep. The reason being is because those bright LEDs from the screens we get, whether it be from our cell phones, our iPads, our tablets, our computers, the TVs, it doesn't matter where it's coming from. They stimulate our nervous system and activate that sympathetic nervous system, which gets us excited, which doesn't allow our bodies to calm down for very well. And it takes at least an hour to 2 hours sometimes for your body to calm down from that stimulation. So this is a big one, especially for kids. Man, if you want to set up your kids to start having bad sleep at a young age, I'm talking like infant, toddler stage, then just give them an iPad or your phone a couple hours before they're supposed to go to bed. I mean, children under the age of 2, in my opinion, shouldn't even have any kind of screen in front of them. But research says definitely, actually research itself says, this is not just Dr. Chris talking in his opinion, but research even shows that a toddler under 2 years old shouldn't even have a screen. And then it's very limited even going up into the teenage years, because it just does a lot with our brain and our brain chemistry that you don't even realize it's happening. So we want to get those screens off. Great habit. You want to create those habits in your life. And when you're going to bed, this is a huge one. So know how long it takes you to get ready for bed and plan accordingly. If you know that you want to fall asleep by 10 o'clock and you know it takes you an hour to just calm down and get relaxed, and then you know it takes you another half an hour to just get ready for bed, and maybe it's the whole process of brushing your teeth, and if you're a woman, taking your makeup off and getting your facial cleansers and all those things on, like, hey, that's cool, but make sure you know. And so like for some people to fall asleep by 10, they might need to start getting ready at 8:30. So if that's you, that's okay, but know that and set yourself up for success and have that routine in. And so once you start to get in that routine, one of the best things you can do is once you've gotten your routine down, you're ready to get in bed, make sure you have that cave-like environment. But one thing you want to do is to help calm your nervous system down is start reading a book. Now, before you start reading the book, what I recommend even before that is actually giving thanks. Giving thanks for all the great things in your life that day. Once you get in that state of gratitude, it really helps your nervous system calm down and get out of that sympathetic fight or flight mode. And your body can really start to process things, and your mind can start to relax. And when you get yourself around that thankfulness, it really just starts to change your brain chemistry as well. In addition to that, or in combination while you're doing this, you can actually do journaling. So you can actually write down all the things you're thankful for, all the things that went good for you in your life. And even things you need to get done tomorrow and have a game plan. You can write that game plan out as you're going through all the things you're grateful for that day and what you're looking forward to tomorrow. But all these things, putting them down on paper, really helps get that nervous system relaxed, starts to get you in that parasympathetic state. Then you can get into the reading from there. So you want to read things that are not going to just get you thinking a lot and get your mind worried, but things that are going to that are just more lighthearted, that can help you start to calm down and relax and get that dozy feeling getting on as you're starting to feel that sleep come on. Now, instead of having the light on, that's a bright light, you can get a more of a soft light, get a lower wattage there too, maybe like around a 45 watt. Just something that's really calm. Maybe if you have a dimmer switch, you can really dim those down really low. And then also a great thing you can do is using a candle light to read by as well. I'm talking about throwing it back old school, right? Like, Dr. Chris, what are we on? Are we like in like the 1840s? No, I'm serious. Like when you use that candle light, it really doesn't affect your nervous system like artificial light does, and it can just help your body calm down quicker. And another thing I like to do too, as part of your routine, is diffuse with essential oils. So get your diffuser, get your blend that you want. Lavender is a great one. There's also a lot of other blends out there that just help calm down the nervous system also. So, I mean, there's like a sleep time blend that doTERRA uses, but whatever it is for you, just get those blends going, start to diffuse those. It's never any one thing that helps your body get relaxed. It's usually just this combination of creating those good habits in your life as well. And then even when you're reading, right, make sure you're not reading on your phone or your iPad. Try to use the Kindles because they don't have that backlight. So that's really important because, again, that's just stimulating the nervous system, the bad parts that we don't want to get stimulated when we're trying to fall asleep. Or even just a good old-fashioned book is what I like to use as well. So make sure you understand that and make sure you're doing the right things and just get those habits going. And once you start to get those habits going, be consistent. Don't think, oh, hey, I tried this for 2 days, I still can't fall asleep. No, I'm talking about getting these habits down and being consistent for weeks and months at a time. And then you can start to build on that if you need to. If you need to do some supplementation to help do some other things to calm down your nervous system, great, do those, but you've got to start here first. And if you don't start to get the stressors out of your life that are creating this anxiety, because that's really what it comes down to, it's really a sleep anxiety that your body is just not shutting down because of all these other things going on in your life. And if you can start to get these patterns in and start really getting the major stressors in your life removed or minimized, you will not be able to sleep well. So start to do these things. You'll start to get some better night's sleep. You'll start to see those improvements. And it might just be an extra half an hour or an hour at first. Or it might just notice you wake up a little bit with a little bit more zing in your step, feeling like you're more well-rested. And that will be all the difference in the world. And then life is a whole lot better, and life is a whole lot better for the people around you as well when you start getting that sleep. So, hey, just remember, your body needs no help healing. It just needs no interference. Have a blessed day.
Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please help more people in reaching their fullest potential and rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. For show notes and other free resources we mentioned today, go to newedgewellness.com.